you were mentioning Russia. So Russia, and when it came to FIFA, as soon as they invaded Ukraine, the next day FIFA was like, "You're done, you're out." And now, so the UEFA. So UEFA is the European Confederation. So that's all the teams in Europe, and they play in. They have something called the UEFA Champions League. So those are basically, for the lack of a better explanation to simplify it, the best 4 teams in every country in Europe. After they play their domestic leagues and domestic season, the best 4 teams are put into another competition called the Champions League. So these are all the best teams within Europe, and they all play against each other. And this is so the games of your domestic league are played in the weekend, and then the Champions League is played on the weekdays, on Wednesdays and on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. This competition, this Tuesday and Wednesday competition, makes so much money, billions of dollars. So if you get into this competition, you immediately, just by qualifying into it, your club will make, let's say, $60 million or $100 million, something like that. So you really want to qualify into this tournament because it leads to more money for your club. You can buy better players. And then you can just keep going over and over. You can keep qualifying to the Champions League and keep bringing so much money to your team. When Russia invaded Ukraine, the president of FIFA was like, "You're out," and kicked out Russia from any European competition. So they went from hosting the World Cup in 2018 to now Russia doesn't play. They can't qualify for a World Cup. They can't do anything. The teams that play in Russia can't qualify for the Champions League. So they can play in their domestic league, but they will never get the opportunity to
so
make
they're sanctioned.
So they're sanctioned essentially. So a lot of people are calling out the hypocrisy of like, well, we see what Israel's doing.
Yeah.
Why can't FIFA and you see that even symbolically, FIFA kicking out Russia says, "Hey, we're gonna impact even your economy for the billionaires that own these teams. Like, we have to set a point, we have to set a boundary of like, if you did this, so this is the consequence." Arguably, to who maybe Ukrainians won't necessarily agree, but like what Israel's doing is way worse. And the fact that FIFA hasn't stepped in to show that same symbolism of like, we won't allow you to participate in the sport in this continent if this is how you behave. And for the fact that, again, Israel is allowed to act with impunity in so many other ways than outside of soccer, but because soccer is such a popular sport, the fact that FIFA hasn't stood up against this is, I mean, it's ridiculous, but it also shows like they're clearly influenced by whoever it is to not punish Israel.
Yeah.
That's really all you can do. It's wildly frustrating, and I think
they have like a bias towards the United States, Israel, and Gulf states, pretty much, that their human rights abuses.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to lump them all in together.
Sure.
I don't know if it's necessarily that. I think it's just the influence that money and capitalism has on any business. Yeah, can bend the rules in their favor. It really stood out to me. I don't know if you remember this story from, it was a Champions League game. And so Maccabi Tel Aviv qualified for Champions League. Also, this is another weird thing. Israel participates in European competitions.
Sure.
Which is like, are you in Europe
you
or?
You can't have it both ways.
So and the
pick one.
And it's a weird. So one of the reasons why they participate in European competitions is because the Asian. So there's an Asian Champions League that that the countries in the Middle East and Asia come. So it's a Champions League, same exact concept, but they play in just a different part of the world.
Yeah.
But when Israel was like, "Oh, we want to play in this competition," they're like, "No, you're constantly bombing us. Like, why would we welcome?"
Oh,
they don't
I
want.
see.
They protest against playing Israel. They don't want to play them and stuff like that. So that's why Israel plays in the European competition.
Very interesting.
So Maccabi Tel Aviv, they go and they're known as they're very right wing club. It's hard. It's weird to think that there's any other Israeli type of club or whatever. But they played in a Champions League game against. They were in I think Ajax. So this is in Amsterdam. I think it's against Ajax. I don't remember what team they were playing. But they, soccer fans, and they're like loud, and they'll, we sort of know like hooligans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I'm familiar.
Yeah. So, for the most part, like the hooligan culture has kind of subsided a lot. It still exists in a couple cities and stuff like that. It's not that it's not gone entirely, but they, you can look this up. They went to Amsterdam, started terrorizing, breaking things, fighting people. There's video of them singing chants about death to Arabs and just like the most like horrible stuff. And there was such a coordinated.
The Maccabi's fans did this.
Maccabi Tel Aviv fans.
Okay.
Did this. So they're easily a group of like, I don't know, 800 to 1,000 people, like taking the metro to the stadium or coming back from the stadium or whatever. And they, after all this, and all these videos of like them pulling down Palestinian flags and all this other stuff, there was a coordinated media effort from and not just media, but like leaders of the world, like Biden, different presidents, prime minister, everybody put out a tweet being like the rampant anti-Semitism in Amsterdam. I cannot believe the scenes I'm seeing. It is like the complete opposite of what we're seeing.
Yeah.
And then the statements that are being made are I mean, it's like a joke. I'm like, all right, are you're playing in my face, as they say, right?
Yeah.
And it was, I think, one of the first times that I was like, you don't want to have, like, it's not even about conspiracy theories. It's just like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is so blatant. And for there are people that don't care about soccer, right? And they will see what the president is posting. And this is a Democratic president or whatever, and who is blatantly lying. Like, this is just not what happened at all. And it goes against even what people are saying, what like I think like the prime minister or president of the Netherlands, like what everybody's saying is like not what they're saying on the ground is not what is what being reported.
Right.
And it's just like, how are you you talk about like soft power and the political influence and the cover that Israel gets. I mean, and this is how you do it, right? And it's like, okay, I can comprehend what Israeli people do in Israel. And maybe I can understand maybe that being defended. I understand that if that's the propaganda you want to push, cool, fine, I guess. I understand that's the move that and the strategy you're going with. But it's Israeli people going to another country, terrorizing them, and then being like, "How dare you be anti-Semitic towards me?" And it's like, what the hell is this?
I know. It's so evil.
There's no other word for it.